Hey y'all, Bloodwing here, back to bring some grumpiness to the internet. Welcome back to Redneck Radio, the live stream, where today you get an extra healthy side helping of banana bread. Man, I've been wanting some good banana bread lately. I don't know why, but
You're
it's
not allowed
definitely.
any banana bread. You're banned.
Oh no, it's good.
No, you're banned.
And if anybody out there in the chat, not just women, a lot of guys could cook too. If you make good banana bread, feel free to make an extra loaf and send it my way.
So it's a Bloodwings PO box, aka his stomach.
Exactly.
Mm.
Exactly. Yeah, Kyler says nanner bread, gimme. Yeah, oh, I love it. I love the stuff. How about you, Alex? You like it?
Never had it.
Never had banana bread?
Nope.
Oh, dude. Where you where you been hiding? Under a rock?
England.
Well, I didn't think banana bread was an American thing, but I guess maybe it is. I don't know.
I never had it.
It's very, very, very good. Very good. But anyway, I get ahead of myself, as you can tell, folks. With us today is my friend and yours, Irate Alex.
My friend and your friend, Irate Alex. Good evening, everybody. How are we? And how are you, Bloodwing?
Tired as always, but fine, making it. I was telling you earlier, and I mentioned it in passing on the stream here at my last doctor's visit. They were concerned about my white blood count, which translates to I'm very anemic, and anemia means you're always freaking tired. I'm always exhausted, but I push through.
Have a pint of Guinness.
Well, I don't drink much anymore. It would give me a headache. Beer gives me a headache for some reason.
Well, I mean, it's not exactly lager, is it? You know.
Your boy Pat says watching the Oklahoma Texas game, we up by 7. Hey, congrats. Yeah, you'll probably hear my phone in the background alerting. It sounds like a drum roll, and it's because it's alerting me to all the college scores
For the foosball.
for the American foosball.
Mm.
No football tomorrow though. My team is on a bye week, so they get a week off. A little early in the season for my liking. I'd rather it be toward the middle of the season for our bye week. But hey, my team's so daggum banged up and injured. We are officially, this is a fact, the most injured team in the NFL right now.
Oh dear.
We could use the extra week to get better. And we deserve a break after that game last Sunday night. God, that was a great game.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we beat Kansas City and beat them. They only led once, like the first drive of the game.
Yeah,
and
I don't know what that means, but yeah,
right. And then we took the lead right after that and never looked back. And it was a team that we were supposed to get smashed by. Even I thought we were going to get smashed.
See, I told you you're just being pessimistic.
But it was a really good game. And thank you, Cryptic, for the donation. Waiting for it to show up on my little thing here so I can put it on the screen. And evidently it's not going to for some reason. There it is. My Streamlabs must be behind. Bye week, the Colts swing both ways. Nice try, Cryptic. Nice try. Bye as in BYE, week off. Before we get to going, though, I want to explain the title and let some of you know, because I know some of you are a fan of my series Redneck Trek, and I appreciate that. And Michael Weiner, I'm
your biggest fan. He's throwing his bra at you.
Yeah, he is my biggest fan on that one, and I'm sorry, but there will be no Redneck Trek this week, and it's not my fault this time.
That's definitely his fault.
It's not my fault. Well, some of you may remember that I was having trouble with the next mission that was up in line. it was glitched and you couldn't finish it. So I skipped it. That's why last week we went to different content for a week. But I come back to it and it's still glitched. Funnily enough, the part that was glitched before is now fixed. They fixed it. But you go to the next part and it's unfinishable. You get to a part where you just can't proceed. A door's supposed to open that won't open for you.
Oh.
I could skip this, but it's kind of a major part of the storyline. And it would really mess up the storyline from here if I go ahead and do it. Now, I had an idea this was the case Thursday, but I wanted to give it another chance yesterday before I officially called it off. I did try. I tried several times yesterday and did file a report of the glitch, of the bug, but hopefully they'll get it fixed by next week, because I really don't feel like this is a part that I can skip.
Yeah.
You can, but I'll be missing out on some stuff that I really don't want to miss out on. But I'm sorry. It's not my fault. Blame Star Trek Online for not having their act together. This all started because they decided to upgrade the graphics and upgrade some of their cutscenes.
Oh,
because I know for a fact this mission was working perfectly before, because I played through it on other characters. But since recently they decided to do some upgrades, it's all screwed up. But
oh dear.
I hope they're working, Michael. Yeah, they do work on fixes. I will say that for them. They may be a long time in coming sometimes. You know, but yeah, hopefully enough people will complain about it that they'll get it fixed. And I'm sure a lot of people do, because this is, you realize that BJ, BJ Hickenlooper's not a very high level character. I think he's level 17 right now. So this is early on. So, early missions get played a lot, because it's in that area before people get tired of it and quit playing. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
So, yeah, I did want to get that out there and apologize. But hopefully next week.
Send them a message.
Well, I did. I sent an in-game bug report. And apparently they're very well aware of it, because when you send a bug report, it lets you hunt for current bugs that people are already complaining about, and it was there. So, yeah. So hopefully they'll get that fixed. Also, if you are in the notion to donate a little money to me, as Cryptic has, I would like to ask for the next, at least for today's stream, if you can. I know not everybody can, because it's not open to credit cards, but if you can use Streamlabs, I appreciate it. Got a bill coming up that in a couple of days that I need a little help on, a little bit of help, nothing major, but just a little bit of help. And that money that goes to Streamlabs, I get right away. I get instantly, instead of having to wait for it like YouTube. If you can't, I appreciate it. Understand. I have looked at opening up credit cards on Streamlabs again, but they just want way too much information. I just don't feel they need, and I'm not comfortable giving them.
Mm-hmm.
Not only my social security number, but I put that in. I'm like, all right, I'll bite the bullet. I'll put it in there, and I get by. Then they want my bank account information, all of it, my bank account information. Why do they need that? That money goes straight to my PayPal. I'm not. I don't understand.
I have no idea, mate.
Like, and as I say that, thank you, Cryptic, for the Streamlabs donation. Don't tell me where to spend my money, old man. Thanks, Cryptic. I appreciate you, buddy. But yeah, so I'll take the super chats. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. If that's the only recourse open to you, then use it. But anyway, it's been a long while, Mr. Working Man.
It has, yeah.
He says, "Is he on?"
Sorry.
And yes, thank you, Kyler. The GoFundMe for my daughter is still up. If you guys would still like to help, she still needs some help. You guys have already been a great help for her already. She's been able to get some things paid off and so far, but she's got a ways to go yet. So yeah, don't forget about that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, how's it been for you, dude?
Interesting.
Yes,
interesting. The role itself is it's been a bit more difficult this week. A few more challenges, shall we say?
Yeah. Real quick. What the heck's quick? Real quick. Sorry. Thank you, Duck Tater, for the Streamlabs donation. Some HEP. Yeah, I appreciate the HEP. And thank you, Michael Weiner. Let's bug bomb the game developers to fix it. Looking forward to the next episode whenever you get it up. Yeah, appreciate that, Michael and Duck Tater. Yeah. As soon as they get it fixed, I will be on it and get it. If they get it fixed early next week, I even thought about making it a double episode week if I can find the time to work that out. I don't know. We'll see. But okay, so as we were, your new work.
Yeah, my job, which I've taken to calling myself a battle carer. More of the job is, it's not actually, I wouldn't say it was half and half, you know, one half security, one half support worker. I'd say it's more support worker than what it is. Right. Security. In fact, I'd say it's more, at least this week, diplomat or rather peacekeeper. I found myself, but I was doing a set of external rounds, and I went around the back of the building, and there they were, two gentlemen who broke through the gate, who were trespassing on the property, right, trying to buy heroin from one of my residents. And I was like, ah, shit. How do I approach this, you know? Do I go in guns blazing? Do I, shout at them? In the end, I used a form of guilt to get them off the property.
There you go.
It worked. I was like, excuse me, gents, what do you think you're doing? You're on our property. You're trespassing. I was like, what are you doing? They're like, oh, we're just trying to get into contact with so-and-so. I was like, okay, well, the residents here have a what is it called? Curfew. They have a curfew. All right, they're not allowed out after a certain time. Also, we've had complaints from the residents living next door, not actual like normal people. Can you get off the property? And they were like, oh, sorry, mate. But they both of them got in my personal space, and I was like, oh no,
Back it up, back it up.
But yeah, they both walked in front of me and then said, oh, can you pass on this message? Which I did try to do. But the guy they were trying to get into contact with was probably jacked out of his head. So
yeah. I used to work. You said that and it reminded me. I used to work years ago when I worked for Honda. I used to work with a guy. His name was Walter, and Walter could not talk to you without being right up in your face.
Oh God!
And you could back up. You try to be nice and not say anything, but you just like take a step back.
Yeah.
And he'd follow you and be right up. I would finally say, Walter, I can hear you over there. Like, you're in my space, dude. Come on.
Yeah. Those two, they disappeared. And do you remember me telling you about a couple living there that are just domestic violence incarnate?
I think so. I think I do.
Yeah. I mean, they beat the shit out of each other. Oh my God. Yeah, over the weekend, well, over that, not over the weekend, but over that 4-night period was the first time I'd seen them actually just kick off at each other, and they kept kicking off over and over. Every time I resolved whatever their problem was, I'd get back to the office. I'd get one foot in the office, then I'd hear it again, so I'd turn around and go back again. It's just fucking pain in the ass, mate.
Yeah. Yeah, it probably wouldn't do me to have the job that you have from the way you describe it. And, you know,
Yeah.
I probably know a little more about it than the average person out there in the chat, because we've talked in private. But I mean, I could handle the taking care of incidences. You know me.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, you know, get back to your room or whatever. You know, I could do that, but my tendency toward grumpiness probably wouldn't work well in that environment.
Well, it really depends, man. I mean, every person who I work with has a very different approach.
Yeah.
You know, the support worker that I'm on for the night 3 and 4, he's a lot more aggressive, and here's his approach. You know, he'll jump out of his seat, he'll look pissed off, and he'll go, "Oi, what do you think you're doing?"
Yeah.
You know. Whereas the other support worker, the female, is a lot more passive in the way that she'll deal with it. You know, both works.
I would probably much more like the first guy. And then after they, you know, went back to their room or stopped whatever they're doing or whatever, left the area, I'd probably turn around, look at you and grin, because that's just the way I am.
I have a little bit of a different approach.
Yeah.
You know, I go in kind of like arms open, not all the way up, obviously, not like I'm going to fight anybody, but, you know, arms are kind of open down by my sides, going, right, what's the problem here? Come on, what's the issue? You know, I'm like, gents, what's the problem? Come on, you know, and then that usually gets them to open up. I'm like, well, can we not? You know, at them. But there is going to come a day when I have to go from 0 to 100.
Yeah, you gotta. I would say that you have to be willing to do that if necessary. Yeah.
Oh, I am willing to do it.
Yeah.
And there will come a day when that happens. I thought it was going to happen on night 4, the other night. I'm just referring them to by numbers. I do blocks of 4 night shifts in a row, guys. So at night 4, 2 nights ago, it was going to kick off. It was 100% going to, but there's a Gobby female in the service, and for once, a Gobby female didn't exacerbate the situation. But at the same time, she also pissed me off. You see, one of our residents is quite a vulnerable individual and owes a few of them borrowing money for heroin and things like that. Sure. And he was in a room with 2 other lads, and he owed both of them money. And they were having a go at him. And I could hear that from well outside of the building. So I came back in from that set of external rounds, grabbed the other set of keys, started doing a set of internal rounds, just trying to play it off as if I hadn't heard anything. And I wandered through the courtyard, and I could hear it. But this Gobby female likes to spend ages in the courtyard at night, you see. And she's very defensive of the lad who lived in that room. And she was like, "Oh, don't report anything. You get kicked out," as if I give a shit. Because that's my job, you know. Break up any shit that goes down, report it. We've had a couple of people booted out the system, booted out the service in the last week or 2 for violence.
Right.
And I just ignored her. But then she's a Gobby woman, my shock. So she started shouting up to the window, trying to warn them, you know.
She'd rather ask, what's a Gobby? Isn't that second cousin to the elf in Harry Potter?
No, that's Dobby.
Yeah, well, it's his second cousin. It's Gobby.
For God's sake. Stop. I see, that's not even a dad joke. That's a Harry Potter joke. Stop. Stop.
Hey, I gotta, you know, even though I'm old, I gotta show off my knowledge of Harry Potter. Come on now. Thank you for the donation, Diesel Dave. Get up. Boy, I'm slow today. Welcome to Indiana, the crossroads of America. You're right. And there's a reason it's called that. A very good reason. And if you want to know the reason, just look at Indiana on any map that shows the major roads. So,
British, informal, of a person tending to talk too loudly and in a blunt or opinionated way. A gobby Glaswegian. Some gobby kid had just ruined the mood. Oxford Dictionary site. There you go. Someone who's mouthy. A belligerent bitch. Would that be helpful? And she started gobbing off, right? So I was like, right, I'm gonna go back into the main building. I'll go back into the office. So she goes and sits down and shuts the fuck up. And then I gave it a minute. Then I walked basically underneath his room, which is the communal area. But she couldn't see me because I was behind the board. And I was having a listen, but shit had calmed down by that point. So I think by her warning them, it actually inadvertently calmed shit down. And I was ready to go, Bloodwing. I was ready to go.
Ready to throw down, huh?
Yeah, I was ready to run up there and throw them off him if that was the case. But, you know, I was staring at those cameras, waiting for it to pop off, but it never did. So,
thank you, Diesel Dave, for the donation. Boy, I wish my StreamYards is behind. Because I like to put those up on screen. There we go. Thank you, Diesel Dave. About an hour away from the Circle City. Yeah, I'm aware. Yeah, fellow Hoosier. Well, I'm glad you didn't have to go that far, but
yeah, it's funny as well because my, aggressive, ultra manly military voice is probably going to be used on that girl at some point.
Yeah. Well, see, you and I have talked before. I'm a little bit of a different animal. I can get loud. Trust me, I can get loud and I can yell and all that stuff. But it's that's not necessarily when I'm the scariest. Sometimes it's when I talk to you evenly and there's a look in my eye like if you make a wrong move, I'm going to eat you. So yeah, there's different ways to approach it for sure. And I'm glad you didn't have to get physical, dude.
Yeah, I was very, very concerned for this guy. He got put on safeguarding as well, got extra observation on him. And I was like, so people have already tried to attack him. You've had several people have a crack at him over money and stuff. I was like, yeah, someone's gonna fucking try it. Someone did try it last week when I wasn't there, and that again about what I said about people being kicked out for violence. Someone already attacked him. Yeah. It's certainly an issue.
Yeah, Diesel Dave, I'm the same way. When I get quiet, that's the time to get worried. Because it means I'm planning on where to bury your body. Oh gosh, Sheograth. I'm not gonna repeat that, but oh my gosh. Funny though.
Thank you, Wikipedia. Sheograth, you shitbag. That's still better than some of the ones you were spouting off last week. Jesus.
Yeah.
Those weren't even dad jokes last week.
But there is some good news you were sharing with me, Charlie.
Yes.
Yeah. Do what?
I was about to, sorry, I'm watching the part 2 of the Supercut of 7 Days to Die, Neebs Gaming. When they're singing that song and none of them know the lyrics, and then Neebs comes in singing it.
Yeah.
I've been waiting for so long. That one.
But yeah, for those of you that don't recall, Charlie's the young man that a couple of years ago we done a marathon stream. Well, Alex actually done the stream. I was just a part of it. and to help out getting some equipment that he needed. And there's been some recent really good news.
Yeah.
Why don't you fill us in?
I will fill you in, you old bastard. In fact, Blowing, was that the that's when you and me first started talking properly, wasn't it? Like when we'd actually been on the stream, like just you and me for quite a long period.
Well, it had been a while. We had gotten pretty close before that.
Yeah,
a little bit before that. But yeah, it wasn't too much before that, I think.
Okay. Yeah, for those unaware, was it 2017?
Gosh, I think so.
Oof,
It's been a while.
it has.
Scribe Light tweeted at me today on Twitter about 3 years on YouTube, and my 3 years just went by, and I totally missed it. I was going to celebrate it. It went by in September. It's just been such a crazy mess for me lately, as most of you know. So, yeah, last thing on my mind is how long I've been on YouTube. But he's been on for 3 years now, and like, oh my gosh, time flies.
Yeah, it certainly does. He tweeted at me, and that's when I woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning. It's like he had me as Paddington Bear, but obviously he has irate bear in substantive. Shut up, Scribe. Yeah, I think it was 2017, and I'd heard the awful story of my my eldest's friend. When they were in infant school and middle school together, and he had an accident at the playground, and he banged his head, and the teachers in this particular circumstance had failed him. In these circumstances, you're supposed to call the parent and let them know what had happened. But no, they didn't do any kind of medical check and didn't alert his mother, Ange, at all to the situation. And he got up and he was fine. And then that night he went to sleep, and then he had a massive seizure, woke up with Tourette's syndrome, woke up and his legs weren't working. You can bet his mother was angry then. Holy shit.
Oh, yeah.
And her entire life was turned upside down, and it was very much an uphill battle from there. I don't know how. Well, we have something here in the UK called Senko. That's basically like the help that you get through the education system for disabled or mentally disabled children, and they're very. In my experience, they are difficult to work with. Yeah. I don't remember whether where's my woman? Can somebody get the attention of my missus? Because she knows a bit more about that story than I do. But I did explain it on the stream. Guys, it's been 2 years. Give me a break.
Yeah. Been a while.
Well, anyway, oh, here she comes. Oh, here she comes. Watch out, boy, she'll chew you up. Oh, here she comes. She's a man-eater. Come here. I'm just going to take my headphones out for a second. Come here. Now, when Charlie had his accident, that was middle school, wasn't it? Because obviously the school that they go to it's infant and middle school, isn't it? Did it happen in his infant years or middle years?
I can't comment because we're not allowed to comment.
Yes, we are. I'm talking about it now. We can talk about it. It's fucking fine. Year 5, so that's middle school, yeah. Now, when he went down on the playground, does that school have a nurse?
All schools have a nurse.
Mine didn't. When I broke my arm in year 3, they took me to the welfare office. Not welfare as in, welfare, benefits welfare, but no, like, health. But it wasn't a nurse. It was a first aider. That was it. And they didn't even know that my arm had been fractured in 2 places. They were like, you'll be fine.
Shake it off.
Yeah, I did actually. Yeah. And then my mum realized when I was getting undressed at home that day that my arm was buggered. But he went down, didn't he? And they didn't tell his mum that he'd banged his head. They didn't do any kind of reporting. No, they didn't go to the welfare office, no school nurse, nothing like that. Did that school have a school nurse? It does. Bastards, see? Bastards.
Yep.
Bastards. No, I'm explaining to people what's happened and the good news.
Because
But basically, there's some stuff now that we can't say. Bloodwing.
Yeah, I get that.
why it's all been DM'd.
Yeah, that's why I only DM'd those. Well, I mean, it wasn't the only reason why I DM'd the article to you, because that would also dox my ass. But no, there's aspects to his moving forward which can't be spoken about publicly yet. And it's only his agent. No, it's not an agent. He's in gym instructor. Is there anyone who can like speak for him?
Okay.
But anyway, yeah, he lost the ability to use his legs, and 2 years ago, I decided that we'd come along, we'd help in any way we could. And Charlie's mum told me that he needed a frame, and the frame was going to be very, very expensive, in the thousands, And this frame was designed to prevent his leg muscles from fusing. And it would also allow him to help his mother around the house, do things like dusting. He could help with the dishes and stuff like that. And he's always been a kid that wanted to help out with his mum, He has got 2 brothers and stuff, but the older one was in the military, and the other one was like a fully grown adult and living on his own and doing his own thing. So it's just him and his mum. But yeah, they needed the help, and I mean, he's a gymnast. He's very good at it.
Yeah.
And we raised that money, and we raised so much money, we ended up being able to buy a bath lift for him as well. And granted, it wasn't the most complex body thing in the world. I mean, it was basically an inflatable type thing, but it saved his mother's back.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't have a carer that comes around and does all this kind of stuff. They didn't have a sling, to move and handle him and put him in the bathtub, So that saved her back and ultimately prevented his legs from fusing. And now his gymnastics has come a long way. A long bloody way in the last 2 years, even more so than what it was before. I mean, his upper body strength, you remember from the video, Bloodwing, like, he was already really strong anyway. But he entered a competition recently, and he came first. He won gold.
Yeah.
He won a gold medal.
Very proud of him.
Yeah. He did. He didn't even know. He didn't even know.
Yeah, he's a boy after my own heart. Alex told me that he just wanted to go home and get some sleep.
Yeah,
that's all I'm thinking. I just want a nap.
That's what I said to his mother yesterday. I was like, "Oh, he's a boy after my own heart. Just want to go back home and go to bed." But yeah, he silly sausage didn't even know. And they were like, "Charlie," he was like, "What do you want?" You got gold. Did I? But yeah, his mother's very proud. I'm obviously massively proud.
Yeah,
and it's moving forward from there, really.
Yeah. I mean, I obviously being an American, he's in England. I've never met the young man. I've talked to his mother a couple of times via you and Vanilla. And of course, I follow her on Twitter, talked to her there a couple of times. But I feel like I'm a part of his life, at least a little bit, and I share in the pride. I'm very proud of him. Very proud.
Yeah. It's a kid that's overcome being physically disabled, and has Tourette's. Has quite a bad tic, which obviously gets worse if he's stressed or tired. I mean, I think that's the case for pretty much anyone with those kind of disorders.
Well, I get pretty bad when I'm tired too.
Yeah. Well, we all do. But his tics in particular are very loud, and he can't help them and stuff.
Yeah. One time in the background when you and I were talking, I heard him kick off. So
yeah. But yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, that's absolutely great. That was great news. And I needed it. Alex will tell you, I woke up pretty grumpy today.
Yeah, he did. Moody old man.
I'm still pretty grumpy, but Yeah.
I was trying to bait him into an argument a bit as well. he was complaining about something, and I went to go look at that little something. I didn't think it was that bad, and I was like, I grinned a bit and went, I agree with that person. You know, I thought he might.
Yeah, and you
bite at
remember
me.
what my response to you was? Oh well. I don't bait very easy. You know, I can get on a roll, but I don't bait very easy.
but me being me, the autist that I am, and allowing others' emotions to rub off on me, allowed the old man's mood to rub off on me, and then I got really angry. Well, I wouldn't say really angry. I just was peeved, I suppose.
Yeah, and I told you not to.
And then and then I went and had a few. I went and fired a few shots at some other YouTubers on Twitter, and that made me feel better.
I mean, I'm always grumpy. It's the grumpiness to your internet is not just a catchphrase. I mean, it's true. I'm always at some level of grumpiness, but some days I wake up and I'm just on a tear, and that's the way it was this morning. Just didn't get enough sleep, and just was on a tear. Just felt mean. Thank you, Duck Dog, for the donation. Chat poll, one's for Viper is a cutie. I'm sure she'll have something to say about that.
Yeah, I'm not cute. She fucking loves the attention.
Yeah, you're not.
She loves it.
But Viper. By the way, I talked to J Kid, and he thank you for making that artwork for him. It's exactly what he wanted, and so I don't know if he did, because I know he's kind of like me. He sometimes forgets to say thank you, but I'll tell you, thank you. You've done a good thing. But and for those of you who don't know, J Kid wanted some artwork. He wants to do he wants to have a tattoo that memorializes my son-in-law that just passed away, because they were best friends. And Viper hooked him up. So good on you. Good on you. But yeah, I just woke up in a mood. I didn't sleep very well, like I was telling you. And I think I already mentioned in the stream, you know, you know how it is when you're in that twilight zone in between sleep and awake. Yeah, and you're not really sure what's reality and what's not, because you're kind of in both. And I could have swore at about 2:00 this morning, I heard somebody pounding on my back door, which startled me. I listened, my ears perked up, obviously, and I'm listening, and I didn't hear anything else, but I felt nervous to go back to sleep after that. So.
Yeah, I feel you. Yeah, the super chat.
Thank you, Cryptic, for the donation. Viper is a sweetheart. That's why she's so cute.
No, I'm not.
So yeah, that's the way my day's been. I'm a little better now, a little better now. Plus, I was a little aggravated that I wasn't able to do Star Trek Online, the Redneck track and so forth, because I actually had it together this week. You know, I was on it.
Oh, you started earlier, did you?
A little bit, yeah.
I gave him a massive bollocking last week for not getting his shit in one sock.
I started the day earlier than normal, but you know the mission was busted, so I'll try it again tomorrow, and I did. Tried it multiple times. I was probably at it for a couple hours, and couldn't get it to work, and said, "Well, screw it."
Viper, in order for you to do the grudge noise in my ear, you'd have to come to my house. She knows where I live. She has my address, and I'm assuming that she'll be wearing the N7 hat on the way here. Don't expect to leave with the hat. I'm just saying. Oh, but you're speaking of messed up sleeping patterns and stuff. The first day into the night, into the following day is the worst. for this job by far, because by that time you've reset your sleeping pattern,
Right.
and then you're not tired. You're not tired, and you can't really get that sleep in before the first night shift, right? But I went to bed, and I did manage to fall asleep, and I think I entered the Twilight Zone. But I had a dream, and it was one of those dreams which seem real.
Right.
Is it lucid dreaming?
Yes. Uh-huh.
And it was horrible. it was like it was almost a nightmare. I dreamt that I was on a bus on the top deck, driving through, I don't know. And I looked out the window, and there was a bit of a very minor car crash. You know, someone had bumped the front to back. You know, and the guy got out of the car, and it was a tall, bald guy, and he walked forward, and then he got run over because where he was stood was a T-junction.
Right.
And I was like screaming from the window, but no one could hear me because that's one of those frigging dreams where you're doing everything you can and nothing works. And I was screaming, and I was like, come on, someone help him. And then he was laid out on the floor, and then another car came along and ran him over again. And then another car came over and ran him over again and flattened his head.
Did he get up?
No, his head was two-dimensional at that point.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, it wasn't a pleasant one. I woke up, I was like, what the fuck?
I had a bad dream the other. I'm beginning to think it's the medication I take.
Yeah.
I have a lot of nightmares anymore. And I don't, they're the only ones I remember. If I have good dreams, I don't remember them. But it was kind of odd. It wasn't like really scary or somebody out to get me or whatever. It was my granddaughter, just out of the blue. It was just me and her. And it starts, I don't love you anymore, Papa, and I don't have to do what you say, and blah, 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 just being really super mean to me. And I woke up just really out of sorts, breathing heavy, and that upset me.
Well, that is an upsetting thing.
Yeah. But
you know why? Because it's realistic.
Yeah. And the thing is, if you knew my granddaughter, there's no way in heck she would do that. That's not her.
Yeah.
You know, she would not do that at all. But you know, dreams can seem real, and like,
oh, I've had ones. They were ridiculous, but they seem real.
right.
It was the zombie apocalypse. And I was fighting off the horde. I was actually with two other YouTubers, and I can't remember for the life of me who they were. In fact, I think it was ages ago. I think one of them may have been Sinatra. The other one wasn't drunk, although. I can't remember who the third YouTuber I was with, but we were fighting them, and their weapons were working, right? And I was armed with a frying pan.
I would like that because it makes a very satisfying noise.
It does make a satisfying noise, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But every time I swung and hit them, it wouldn't do anything. And I kept having to jump back. Like, it was a slow type of zombie. They weren't runners. Like, can you imagine the weapon not working against runners? No, that's a bad idea. And I was hitting them, and it weren't working. And I kept having to jump back and swing. And I hate those dreams. You're trying to fight and you can't do anything.
Well, the only bad thing about the frying pan, if it's a cast iron skillet, which I'm assuming it was when you described, they can break. They'll shatter. If you hit them wrong.
I believe the one I was swinging around was your garden variety, just old school pan, you know?
Yeah.
The type that you'd make a steak in.
Dong.
Yeah, I was getting the sound, which was, you know, good. But those aren't nightmares. They're just frustration dreams, I suppose.
But yeah, I think I'm beginning to think seriously that it might have something to do with my medication.
Or it might have something to do with the sheer amount of coffee you drink.
Because I have a lot of nightmares anymore. You know, it just seems like almost every night I'll have at least one that'll wake me up about 3, 4 o'clock in the morning and wake me straight out of bed, But I'll get up, move around, smoke a cigarette, maybe eat a little snack or something, then go back to bed, and be okay. But
oh, excuse me, sorry. I'm still waking up, guys. I finished work yesterday morning, came home, had a big boy sleep.
Yeah.
And I was really, really tired yesterday morning. Holy crap. I didn't sleep well the day before, you see. And I went to bed early last night and woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning. And was awake through until about 3:30, 4 o'clock today, and then I had another nap and I fell asleep really quickly. If I fall asleep quickly, I'm fucked. Like,
yeah. See you, Kyler. Have a good day at work. And I know, having worked a long time in mechanics, I understand your frustration about part shortages. Yeah, nothing worse. So,
yes, I distinctly remember Carla being very irritated yesterday. Have a good day at work, dude. I hope it's better than what it was.
Yeah. Yeah, if I've been such a bad insomniac my entire life. I mean, ever since I cannot remember not being one, even as a little kid. And if I go right to sleep, I'm dog tired.
Yeah,
because that just don't happen.
Same.
Yeah. But Brian King says, Bloodwing, don't listen to him. My grandpa drank strong coffee from morning till night and lived to be almost 100. Well,
I didn't say he was going to die.
I'm well on track then, because I drink strong coffee, black coffee with no sugar, by the way. I don't take anything in it. Why ruin a perfectly good cup of coffee by putting crap in it? From the time I wake up until I go to bed.
I didn't say he was going to die. This says just continuation of nightmares. That's 100 years of nightmares.
Oh, good Lord. I don't know if I want to live to be 100. Not because of the nightmares. It's just, good Lord, that's a long time.
It is a long time. And I remember my first ever care job, and I got to look after a lady who was 102.
Yeah.
And most of what she wasn't even that bad. Like she could do a lot for herself. She wasn't massively, she wasn't really disabled at all, most of her body parts were working. I remember being sat there with her, and she used to say, "I want to die." And it's like, I used to turn to her and go, why do you feel like that? She said, "I'm 102. I'm bored." I was like, okay, fair enough. And to be fair though, like if you're 102 and you live, it wasn't a care home, it wasn't a nursing home, it was independent living.
Right.
But yeah, the most she could do was sit with her daughter, who was annoying as anything, and watch daytime TV. And we all know daytime TV, no matter what country you're from, it sucks.
Yep.
Right. And no wonder why you want to die. You're watching the Jeremy Kyle show and Judge Judy.
Yeah.
Bless her. But no, I would like to live as long as possible, provided that, I don't end up with arthritis, which I'm fairly sure I'm heading towards at the moment, because I keep getting pains and my hands keep going into spasm and stuff. It started happening on night 4 when there were 2 suspect individuals outside of the service. When I was stood there having a cigarette, my right hand started spasming out like crazy, and I was trying to clench it to stop it from doing it, but it weren't having. And I was like, oh shit, if they notice this shit, they're gonna just think that they can take advantage,
Yeah.
Um,
Diesel Dave says Bubba Wing is wrong. A good latte is awesome. Hey, to each his own, if that's what you like. But no, for me, just pour it straight out of the pot. That's the way I like it, and I like it strong. So, and there's people say nobody really likes the taste of coffee. You're full of crap. You're not a real coffee lover then, because I do. I like the taste. I disagree with Monkey. He said when he was talking about the vaping thing, nobody really likes the taste of tobacco, because talk about flavored vapes. No, I would buy the tobacco flavored vapes if I bought anything. If I could vape, it chokes me. I like the taste of tobacco. I do. Sue me.
Yeah, I do actually. Yeah. It's there was that old joke that what's his face, Jim Jefferies, who used to be funny. before
Yeah.
he got all woke and stuff. In fact, no, I don't even think that you would have liked him back then either, because he was a massive kind of like anti-theist type, but a massive alcoholic and has a potty mouth like no tomorrow. But he used to say, look, he used to say that he hated people who said, oh, they don't drink because they don't like the taste. And he'd say, no one does. They drink because they have to. Oh, no, I actually like the taste of some alcohol.
Some. Some. Never did learn to like bourbon or whiskey or any of that ilk. It just I don't like it.
No, I'm the same. I never really developed a taste for any kind of whiskey or anything like that. Many spirits, in fact.
I do like the taste of rum.
Yeah.
And I like the taste of beer. I just can't drink it. It gives me a headache anymore.
Yeah, I like the taste of a nice lager. Most ciders I like the taste of. It really depends on the brand. Some brands are heartburn inducing, shall we say. I like the taste of a few wines. I mean, the best wine I ever had was the Devil's wine, from a Chilean vineyard.
Yeah.
Stuff was gorgeous, very tasty. Had it on Christmas Day. Lovely stuff. I like the taste of absinthe.
Don't know that I've ever drank absinthe, so I can't say. I like the taste of red wine.
I'm not a red wine person.
I'm not much for the white wines. I can handle a rosé, but I prefer a red wine. But
Duck Dog is aware of what naval rum is referred to. Pussers.
yeah.
Right. Well, the word pusser, which is a nickname given to the logistics branch. Like everything. Like you go Pussers thick black socks, Pussers shirts, Pussers number 4 trousers, or Pussers 8s or whatever. And you were actually incorrect earlier, Duck Dog. It wasn't a weekly ration of rum. You'd get a daily tot of rum every single day. And they actually stopped that in 1979 because of, cancer and people dying. But I've actually drank Pussers rum. And I bought a bottle of it in Gibraltar and I shared it with my ex-brother-in-law. That stuff it's not tasty, but you would not enjoy that rum.
Well, I don't know. I like Bacardi's 151, which is 151 proof.
Yeah, I know. I've had the experience of drinking
it will
that.
Absolutely burn if you put a match to it.
The first time I ever tasted that was in Trinidad and Tobago, and one of my mates was like, "Oh, drink this." And I was like, "What is it?" He went, "Drink it." I was drunk enough just to go, "Okay." And I had a shot of it, and it's like fire.
Yeah, but I like the taste of it. It has a good taste.
I had it again in Miami, and it didn't have the same kick. Maybe because I was aware of what it was.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but absinthe was 70%. Bacardi 151 is 80%. When you drink it, so absinthe I had the green one, and I actually enjoyed the taste of it, and I could actually. There aren't many spirits that I'm good at shots with, like things like Zambuca, man. That stuff, like it's got aniseed in it, and I don't like the taste of aniseed. I mean, I will do it, but it makes it kind of numbs my mouth a little bit, and makes me dribble.
The only thing that I've really enjoyed taking shots of is schnapps.
Have I ever had schnapps? Or snaps?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I have. No, but seriously though, Bloodwing, you probably wouldn't like the taste of this rum. It doesn't taste like any other rum.
Yeah.
It's a very
Although I can't drink peppermint schnapps anymore because there was a period in my late teens where we were all about the peppermint schnapps, and Lord, I spent a lot of nights praying to the porcelain god after a night with peppermint schnapps. I've kind of lost my taste for it.
Well, that's the thing with me, mate. With some things, I had one night. I used to love vodka Redbull, and one night, that's how it goes for everyone. One night you have one night where you get paralytic and you throw up through your face and out your ass and through your nose and every orifice you have.
Yeah.
And ever since then, I don't drink vodka and I don't drink Red Bull. I can't stand the smell of it. And that's a shame, man, because the bar I used to go to all the time used to do treble JD and Cokes. Not treble JD and Cokes, treble vodka Red Bulls for £3, which in England, that's a bargain.
Yeah.
No, that doesn't sound like actual Pussers rum. Dog.
Yeah. The worst time and the worst sick, I guess you would say, that I've ever had drinking was when I was in my late teens, and somehow me and a bunch of us got a hold of some blackberry brandy. I think somebody might have 5-finger discounted it because that's not something we would normally buy for ourselves. But they got a hold of that blackberry brandy, and oh my gosh, I got sick. Got home, I'm throwing up. I was living at home. Mom heard me come in there, and so I spent like the next 2 hours throwing up in the toilet while my mom's giving me a dressing down about how I deserve it. See, this is what you get. You know, probably the worst time I ever had with that. And I've had some times.
Yeah. I'm just going to share screen just so I can show you what Pussers rum looks like.
Okay, let me switch back over where I can
There we
do
are.
that when you're ready.
I'm just wondering if this is what Duck Dog's talking about, this stuff here.
No, never. I don't think I've ever heard of it.
Yeah. I would doubt they sell it in America.
Yeah.
It's not nice. It doesn't really go that well with anything else too. I tried it with Coke and stuff. Other rums mixed with Coke better. Yeah, this stuff is it's not nice at all, really. I'd prefer a Bacardi.
Yeah.
I prefer white rum as well.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah, I do too. Talking about bad times reminded me of a time. I was me and a bunch of guys were out running around. We'd been drinking beer, and it hit. I knew I was going to throw up. You know, you could feel it coming.
Oh yeah.
And we're driving down a really major road in Indianapolis. I was like, dude, you got to pull over. Man, we're almost there. We were heading to a bar or something. I don't remember. Dude, you got to pull over. I'm going to puke. He goes, man, just hold it in. I knew I wasn't going to hold it in. And the only thing I'm looking around to see if there's the only thing I could find was an empty beer can and a floorboard. And I tried to puke in that beer can.
Oh no.
Let's just say it didn't all make it in the beer can.
Oh.
Fortunately, we were very close to where I worked, and I had keys to the building, so I was able to get in and change into a uniform.
Yeah.
Myself up. But I don't miss those days. At all. Yeah, some of it got in the can, Mike Savage. Some of it actually did get in the can. I put my mouth as tight over it as I could.
Oh,
I told him to pull over. He's in the front seat like, oh, what are you doing? What are you doing? I said, I told you.
Should have listened.
Yeah.
Should have listened.
Yeah. I told him to pull over. That, you know, those were the days, you know, when you're young and dumb.
Yeah.
Old enough to know better and young enough to still do it anyway.
Yeah, I don't drink now.
I rarely do.
I'll have a drink if it's my birthday.
I was just at the doctor's office, you know, and of course, one of the questions they ask, do you drink? They ask me every time I'm there. You'd think they store this information somewhere. Like it's changed from, you know, the last 6 months.
They're trying to catch you out, mate.
Yeah. And I was like, you know, maybe 3 times a year at most.
Yeah.
Just don't drink very often. I get a hangover a lot easier, it seems like, now that I've gotten older. And it is a medical fact that you're more susceptible to hangovers the older you get.
Yeah.
Hey, Becca. But I don't know. I just don't much, you know.
Yeah, I don't do it at all really anymore.
Jay Kid's the same way. He rarely drinks anymore either. You know, just
It just doesn't appeal to me, I guess.
yeah. Well, it's kind of probably goes back for me when I was a drug addict, and since then I've went too far the other way. Sometimes, like I'll put off taking a headache pill forever till I
Yeah.
just can't stand it. And tell you, I just don't like being out of control. You know?
Yeah,
And,
same.
that's the thing. And me being the kind of person I am, the addictive kind of person, I don't know how to just have a drink and leave it at that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Once you get the taste for it, that's it.
Yep. Give me another. Hey, that tasted pretty good. I'll have another.
Then you start to feel good and you start to feel nice and loose and talkative. And I am so loud as well.
Oh, yeah.
Really loud.
Yeah. But yeah, just not so much anymore. You know, maybe a couple, 3 times a year at most. You know,
Yeah.
I'll get in a mood where I think, you know, a glass of wine sounds really nice right now. And so I'll go get some. And then when that's gone, that's it for several months. So
Yeah. I think the last I tried to have a drink a while back. I had Vanilla Bear like pour me just like a cider and black, you know, and I didn't even finish it. I was just like, right, I drank half of it and that was it. I was done. I wasn't drunk, obviously. I just didn't want to drink anymore.
yeah. And I really hate that beer gives me a headache anymore because I really do like beer. I'm one of those weird people that likes the taste of beer. I know a lot of people don't, but I like it, especially a nice dark beer. I love the dark beers, but before I'm even halfway through a bottle, I'm already getting a headache. I'm like, you know, this ain't worth it.
Yeah, I don't know whether I went off when my dad died, but I don't know.
Yeah, Sheagrath. Why did the Jewish kid ask for the wind direction? To know where his parents went.
Oh my God.
Oh Lord.
Can we just call the police just based on the quality of the joke?
Yeah, I guess.
Stop it.
Oh, goodness gracious. Oh, so let's see. What else we got? I'm really not in the mood to talk politics or anything. I rarely am.
Dog, a snake bite is that's not a snake bite. Snake bite is a combination of cider, lager, and then blackcurrant. Cider and black is just a cider and black, dude. So please continue.
Yeah, and of course you know me. I've never claimed to be a political channel. I'll talk about politics if it's something I can laugh at, and that's about it. More a social channel than political, I believe. At least I believe so.
Yeah.
And it's been kind of a slow news cycle anyway. It does seem like the only thing everybody's going off about is them morons with what is Extinction Rebellion and what they call dancing.
Yeah, Extinction Rebellion.
I can't dance, people. I'm as white can get. I cannot dance. I got 2 left feet. There's a reason I don't dance in the middle of the street because nobody wants to see that, not even me. So I figure I got the right to laugh at these morons if they want to act like some Tourette's having crack babies, you know.
Yeah.
It doesn't offend me. I'm not offended by it, but I find it hilarious. Seriously.
Yeah, these people.
Yeah.
I don't even know what to say about it anymore.
I know.
It's terrible.
It is. And what's it going to help, you know, other than make me laugh?
Well, that's all we can do, really, with these people.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to do. Maybe throw a bucket of warm, soapy water at them. You know, get them a bloody wash, so I haven't got to smell it from down the road.
Oh, they'd be like the Wicked Witch of the West and Wizard of Oz. I'm melting.
So people, if you have an issue with the environment, you can help by recycling.
Yeah, there's stuff you can do.
You can go clean up some beaches, or join some of those vessels that go out and get the rubbish out of rivers and the ocean.
Yeah, because last time I checked, really bad interpretive dancing in the middle of the street is not going to fix the environment, nor is it going to spur people to want to go fix the environment.
Yeah, unless you've got like a disco thing going on and you're selling drinks on the side there, most people aren't going to be interested in your message.
If I seen that on the street, if I was walking down the street and seen that, I'm like, what the heck is that? You're high? What are you taking?
Yeah, exactly. It's just like, what's going on here? Why haven't the police been called yet? You know? And yes, Perfectly Fair Delusions is correct. They are people who look down upon the working class. These are people who try to preach and gob off at the working class and think that the rest of us are scum. Meanwhile, the working class are trying to get to work, and they're dumping a boat in the middle of the street, preventing the working class from using public transport, which is the general idea.
Matthew Brissett says you get a dime for every pop beer bottle can in Michigan. Used to be like that here in Indiana when I was a kid. That's how I used to make money, was go around, collect pop bottles and go turn them in at the local grocery store, But at some point they stopped doing that. We no longer have deposits on our drinks. But
I don't like them. I don't like these people.
No, they're hilarious, and it doesn't take but a second to look at them to know that soap hasn't touched that body for a very long time, and to know to realize that I absolutely do not get what they're trying to do with that interpretive dance. If it's interpretive, I can't interpret it.
Yeah. If I didn't know who they were, I would not know what was going on. No. Just like the second I saw it, that's Extinction Rebellion.
I've seen people act like that when they were on bad acid trips. So
they probably were on acid.
Yeah.
Mongoloids, honestly, they really are. Just how are you going to change? How are you going to affect climate change and improve it by doing that in the street?
Yeah, I don't know.
With your dreadlocks. Yeah,
but if that's what you want to do, then be my guest. Go ahead. It's a free society. Go ahead. I need a laugh. So I just don't think you're going to be helping too much while you're doing it.
Stop it, Sheargrass. Stop it.
Don't you listen to him, Shio. You keep going. You go right ahead.
Well, these are posh middle class people, so I'd say they're either, hyper on cocaine. I don't know about ketamine though, or MDMA.
Yeah.
Would they even be that energetic on MDMA?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with them. That's the part I can't figure out.
Well, I bloody do. They're virtue signaling middle class dicks that I think that what they're doing is actually helpful. But it's not.
Yeah. Well, you got to hand it to them, though. They're single-handedly helping to bring a lot of money to the super glue industry.
Well, yeah, that's not. Yeah. Sorry, it took me a second there. I was like, oh yeah, they glued themselves to things.
Yeah.
Why do they keep gluing themselves to things? You see, one of them in the last week glued themselves to a plane. A
Yeah.
plane, Bloodwing.
I know. They should have took
Just-
off.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. It's just fly off, be fine. They don't want to get any of those dirty dreadlocks stuck in the bloody engines.
Hang on, Newt. She's a sucking mud.
Oh God! All right, here we go. This is some stuff from the community, Mr. Wing. So, Mr. Courts, Mr. Danny Courts is not aware of the Irate Alex Twitter account, and this is showed up on my Twitter feed. He is not aware. Don't tell him, because he'll block me. And this is his gotcha. He's taken a couple of screenshots, and he said, when even your own fan base is calling you out on your bullshit, you're doing something wrong. And it's a screenshot of Undoomed quote tweeting Danny Courts.
Right.
Who's Danny said, okay, then the burden of proof is on you. Then I don't really get what's going on here. He says, so Undoomed says, nice try. I'm not going to betray the trust of those whom you've hurt. It's up to them if they want to report you to the police, sicko. I can't very well do it for them. And then somebody's replied to them that doesn't even have an avatar saying, I get that you know this from people you trust, but if we're honest, you can't just put the accusation out there. What accusation has Undoomed made then?
I'm not sure. Putting two and two together, though, I'm leaning toward probably pedophilia.
I'm going to go to his Twitter, see what.
Just simply because he's mentioned because of the ones you've hurt.
Okay. So,
I mean, that would be my guess. I don't know.
don't get me wrong. I'm like guilty of quote tweeting people to make them look like a prick in front of as many people as possible. But following threads when they're quote tweeted is really irritating.
It is extremely irritating, and that's why I don't do it. Because the only reason, and you can't tell me different, the only reason people do that is, like you said, to make them look like a complete idiot in front of your followers. It's a, hey, look at this dummy.
Yeah.
Move, you know, and I don't do it. If I'm going to get in an argument, which I try to stay away from arguments on Twitter, but if I'm going to get in one, I'm going to keep it in one thread.
Oh my God, Danny Courts actually is retarded, isn't he?
Well, we all knew that years ago.
you know what got me is I was having a go at him because he was losing his mind. Yeah, do you remember how we cried on Twitter that I made a response video, and of course I got half naked in the video, and he's like, I didn't consent.
Yeah.
I was like, what? I went, you autistic fuck, and then Bronx came along and said, actually, he is autistic. And I was like, really? Oh, I was like, okay, well, all right, my point proven then.
Yeah.
So Undoomed had taken a screenshot of some feminists, and the feminist says, you don't hate identity politics and you don't hate political correctness, you just hate women. And then Undoomed took a screenshot of that and replied, well, the stunning and brave feminist instantly blocked me because of course she did. So here's a screenshot in case you can't see her tweet. And then Danny Courts comes in saying, gee, shit for brains. Sorry, let me read it in his voice. Gee, shit for brains. No, I can't do his voices.
It's nice try, though.
I wonder why. Could it be that you quote tweet? He talks through his nose, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Could it be that you quote tweeted her and encouraged your fan base to harass her? No, that can't possibly be it, because taking responsibility for enabling your racist fan base is overrated, apparently. I don't like talking like that. That actually kind of hurts my sinuses a bit.
Yeah.
Then Undoomed called him out. Okay. So he's saying it's the male feminist scumbag that women need restraining orders to get away from. Stop molesting women, sicko. That actually works better than white knighting. Did Danny Courts finger someone or something?
I don't know. I lost track. I honestly lost track with that bunch, you know, and I consider him as kind of an outlier, a fringe of the whole Christy Winters brain trust. I I lost track of them for quite a while now.
Yeah, Daddy Course has had me blocked for a long time. He's made a couple of response videos to me. I'm not watching them though. His voice is far too nasally. It's really, really annoying. And that's probably a good thing. Perfectly fair delusion.
Yeah,
probably a good thing. Twitter is not a good place, especially for somebody.
you're not missing anything. I took like the last couple of days pretty much off Twitter. I checked it maybe a couple times to see if any of my friends DM'd me or anything. It's the only reason why I didn't cruise through my timeline, just look for any mentions or anything. But yeah, I was pretty happy about it. Honestly,
I can't tell if Undoomed is just trolling the guy.
he might be. He wouldn't be above it, he might be.
I don't know. Well, anyway, Danny Courts is a faggot.
He is, but I'm not a fan of the quote tweeting trend. I just not a fan at all.
Yeah, I mean, whilst I was at work, there were a couple of moments where it was quiet enough for me to sit back in my chair, have a cup of tea, and get on Twitter, And I decided to fire a few shots here and there into the wind, And there's an individual who I've now muted because he's just a fucking retard, who likes to be, I don't know if he's a contrarian or whether he just is stupid. But it keeps coming back with really shit arguments and stuff like that. So I quote tweeted him a few times. But when it became apparent that he was just, retarded, I left it alone. I just muted him in the end. Seriously, if you want to have a discussion with me and you immediately go to straw manning me and then say that you're not, that there wasn't a straw man when and it literally was, and I explained to you what a straw man is, but then you come back saying that my arguments are shit, I'm gonna mute you. I don't give a fuck about you. You're a bad actor in that particular circumstance.
Speaking of quote tweets, and that reminds me of something that happened recently. I don't think we talked about it while you were on stream, but I did with whoever was guest in, might have been Pat. But we had my daughter's GoFundMe, and I had a couple of people come at me over it.
Yeah,
trying to have a go at me, and from completely different sides of the aisle, both of them were. And the first person was saying, oh, I stubbed my toe, let's start a GoFundMe, blah, blah, blah. Obviously, he didn't watch the attached video, had no clue what it was about, because my son-in-law dying is a little more than a stubbed toe.
Yeah, exactly.
But the next person quote tweeted me saying, well, and how they know so much about it, because I've never heard of them. I don't know how they know about me and what I believe, but, this is what happens when you believe in bootstrapping, and it pull yourself up by your bootstraps and then it blows up in your face. And then acted all butthurt and didn't understand why people were coming back at him, because it wasn't just me. Other people seen it and come back at him. I'm like, you do realize when you quote tweet someone, it shows up in my mentions, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not like a freebie. Twitter lets you know that people are quote tweeting you. Moron.
Yeah, it really just a piece of shit, to be honest.
Yeah.
The guy that I saw, I didn't see anybody else when it happened.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's from a crew of individuals who think they're the next fucking Bloodsports and think that anybody gives a shit about what they think.
Yeah, and I looked at his that person. That was the first one that you're talking about. I looked at their timeline, and like every tweet was trying to get in somebody's face.
Yeah,
every tweet. I'm like, nah, and so I just didn't even reply anymore, and I never heard another thing from him. Because that's those kind of people are just after the attention, and you quit giving them the attention, they shut up.
Yeah,
and move on to elsewhere. The other person was trying to make some kind of progressive point. Oh, look at the stupid conservative, and his beliefs blew up in his face.
What? But charity is a conservative thing.
Yeah. It is.
Many conservatives say charity over welfare.
Yeah.
That's
Hey,
fucking-
Vanilla.
Fucking stupid. Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
People are stupid.
I need to
People-
find this individual because I'm gonna have a go at him now. I feel like it.
They've give up. I finally told them, look, quit trying to make points off my family's tragedy. I'd appreciate it, okay? And they eventually said, well, I don't want to add to your misery. Well, why were you taking a stab at me then?
Because they're retarded is what they are.
And then they quit. So they're done. Thank you, Willingham, for the donation. I love being banned from Twitter from one of my first tweets. Is that what you meant to say?
I think he meant to say tweets.
Yeah.
Not tweers. That's like a tweet from the homosexual community. That's what
That's what I was thinking.
it-
I'm from the LGBT tweet community.
Making some tweers.
Twitter
Oh.
life, y'all.
Oh,
Hooroo.
oh no.
There's somebody you haven't thought about for a while.
Oh no.
Good,
Hooroo.
good old black Hitler. My goodness. Wonder whatever happened to him.
How is it he used to ask people's names?
I
Was it like, who is you? Is it like, who is you? Is
yeah,
that-
something like that. Yeah.
What? When I first saw him, I was just like, so the Fifth Element is real then, huh?
Mm.
So somebody called Bruce Willis to come along and shove this guy into a bloody coffin-shaped sleep machine. Ugh. Aquavia!
Yeah, yeah.
Is he still going?
I don't know. I have no idea. You don't hear about him anymore. But there for a while, I mean, he was all anybody talked about. But
Yeah. What was his name again?
I can't remember. You know my memory, and I'm terrible with names, especially. I just remember him as Black Hitler.
Yeah, that's what everyone called him, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But I can't remember his actual name. That's it,
Uh,
Ghazi. That's it, Ghazi. Yeah.
Ghazi, yeah.
Yeah.
Functional says, yeah, he recently did a whole thing on Greta. Well,
Did he?
that's got to be good.
Oh God, he's changed his avatar.
Uh,
Oh no.
yeah.
Okay, he's done something on Greta. Yeah. Greta Thunberg, or however you say her surname, have several colonizer seats. I forget that he uses that kind of language.
Yeah, colonizer. And
These goddamn colonizers.
I had enough of him and left a nasty comment on one of his videos when he made a video stating that every mixed race child is the product of rape.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, of course, you know my situation. 8 out of my 10 grandkids are mixed race.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no.
Ghazi doesn't speak pigeon speak. He is some kind of warped kind of ghetto language
Yeah.
mixed in with Marxism.
with a fair amount of gay.
Yeah, exactly. Like even his titles come across that way as well, you know. This one here is a bit kind of gets me. Fantasia is right, women should submit. And he's not straight. He's gay. Fabulously gay. Okay.
Functional says Africa Gato. Good one, Functional. It's good one.
Oh my god. Porn and politics. Why white people love mass shootings. Oh my god. What I
don't
do
know
with
it's-
your money.
I don't know a single white person. I don't know a single person of any color that loves mass shootings.
Yeah, I'm fairly sure nobody likes a mass shooting except for the mass shooter who's trying to carry it out.
Yeah.
I'm sure even then the mass shooter's just like, oh, I've got to go out and do mass shooting today. You know?
Yeah, he's as dumb as that. What was that woman's name? Black woman. Cannot remember her name. I'd done a video on her once.
Oh, I know. You're on about Cynthia.
Cynthia, that's the
Yeah,
one.
Cynthia G. Jesus Christ, that woman.
Oh my gosh.
You remember Manic?
Yeah.
Well, I asked him to do a piece on her, and he was genuinely like traumatized by making a response video to her.
Yeah. She was claimed that white people are descended from different stock, inferior stock than black people. And
oh yeah, she went down the whole species kind of thing.
oh, it was incredible, and talked about some, I don't know, mystical being that existed that took the black people and put them aside. And I don't know. She'd lose me. I couldn't follow her train of thought because it was too out there.
Yeah, her voice was really annoying as well.
Oh, good Lord,
very irritating voice.
Thank you, Cryptic, for the donation. I forgot something. Oh, my $1 joke.
Jakub. That's it. That was the god, Jakub.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, I remember reading the website about that. Cynthia G, man, like she damn near drove Manic to suicide.
Wow.
Yeah, because he explained it to me afterwards. He said, because he wanted to do, a good response,
right,
to a lot of the arguments and things she was saying in the video. And yeah, guys have to realize the things that she was saying were just genuinely hateful.
Oh, it was terrible.
Yeah, and she would try to separate black and white people as two separate species, and the things that you hear the alt-right say, she was saying about white people,
Yeah.
And she was sat there going, "Oh, you Caucasoids are inferior," and all this kind of stuff. And like she just went on and on and on, and she just come at it from all these different perspectives. And not just that, but her voice was like nails on a chalkboard. And Manic said he needed to be he just needed to kind of walk away from it for a bit,
Mm-hmm.
To kind of mess with him a little bit. And I can see why. I actually don't think I ever managed to make a response video to her.
I did as a guest video for Inane Dragon long time ago. I mean, we're talking when I probably had 300 subscribers or less,
Yeah,
long time ago. But those were the days when it was easy to find somebody to do a video on. Just fire up YouTube and it'd be right in your face,
yeah. If you watched any kind of political or social commentary,
yeah,
you'd be recommended everything. But
yep.
well, it was easier to find stuff back then, but it wasn't that easy to find it, I guess, because it used to take quite a while to find videos that somebody that day wasn't responding to.
That was the problem. It wasn't that you couldn't find the videos; it's just finding one that somebody else hasn't done.
Yeah,
And
back then, almost all of us uploaded daily.
Yeah.
And you'd have to keep checking your sub feed as you were making your videos so that he didn't respond to the same person as somebody else did.
For the first 6 months of my channel, I uploaded. Well, I think the only day I didn't upload was Sunday, and I may even have done that. I don't remember, but I know it was pretty much daily.
Yeah, man, we were all on the grind back then. Holy crap, man!
I don't know how I done it. Well, I do know partly is at the time, my worthless son-in-law, not the one that just died, the other one, was still around and watched his own kids, and so Peppo had time on his hands, and wasn't running around every morning, taking kids to school and whatnot. And so
Yeah, man. We were all on that grind.
yeah.
Finding videos on a daily basis, downloading those videos, chopping them up.
Well, I remember one of the things that helped me is Bering put out a video a long time ago explaining how he found videos, because Bering did have a tendency to find them first. He'd be on the edge and upload it, and then everybody else would do stuff on it. But
that's why he was top dog.
Yeah, and
top bear. Even
he explained, the search words he used and so forth. This is a long time ago, before he lost that first channel.
Yeah,
and but that helped me a bunch. I'm like, that makes sense. Well, let me use these keywords,
Yeah.
And once you knew the right stuff to look for, I mean, content after content after content would just pop up in your search results.
Oh yeah,
it was much easier, unlike today, where they've made it a lot harder. But as much as I've tried to make it the whole stream without going to the bathroom, which I did the last time, Thursday, I made it the whole stream. Not gonna make it.
Well, so you go.
I will be right back.
Go enjoy yourself a nice tinkle, old man. You'll be fine. So what's going on, chat? What's happening, everybody? What have you guys been up to? How's your weekend been? Smash the like button. The stream's been going now for an hour and a half. If you haven't made your mind up about whether you like the stream or not, then I don't know what to say to you. Come on. It's for the old man. Give him some likes. And I'm sure that he would very much appreciate it. I mean, he'd take his teeth out and he'd give you a good old gummy, Just saying. I'm just setting him off here right now. So now this will be a different kind of stream. Absolutely. Didn't get a chance to see much of Midtown with you. How's work? It's going good, mate. It's going good. So it's been interesting. Very interesting. These external rounds that I have to do because of what had happened on I think it was the second night when I found two fuckers breaking in through the back. I had taken to going out for a cigarette and taking my cigarette with me round on the external patrol and hiding it in my hand. To where you just turn your hand over and you turn your hand around and you just cuff it a bit. And I very much planned to use that as a weapon if it came to it, but it never. That was the only major incident in terms of external stuff. So I missed your stream this morning. I are unhappy. Well, you have to get up earlier, dude. Have to get up earlier. I mean, I did. I gave 2 hours. Well, over 2 hours notice. Yeah, cup my cigarette as I'm going around just to ensure. I caught a drug deal on the cameras. Unfortunately, I can't prove it was a drug deal, because it was dark. And I mean, I know what was being passed out of that window and what he was passing through the window. But the cameras, it was dark. You couldn't see what it actually was. So caught some of the younger ones smoking weed in the courtyard, gave them a bit of a bollocking. I was like, come on, gents. I get that you like making fun of me and stuff, because they do like to make fun of me. They do try and troll me. They've got nothing on the people on the internet, I can assure you with that. And I was like, come on, I can see that you have the weed. I can see that you're holding it. I can smell it. I live on a council estate. This ain't my first rodeo. And they're like, well, it smells better than heroin. And I was like, it may do, but you're not allowed to smoke it in here. Yeah. And I am going to be writing you up for it.
Willie Ham's weight bearing got deleted. Yes. Well,
yeah. Well, kind of. Did he get his channel back though? But
he got his channel back, but he had to get rid of all his old videos. Well, the majority of them. It all started because there was a copyright claim on his avatar, because he took his avatar in those days from a cartoon. Can't remember the name of the cartoon, but it was from a cartoon that was on TV.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of it now.
Real quick, thank you, Cryptic, for the donation. They got nothing on me. But anyway, as fallout from that, in trying to get his channel back, they took his channel down.
Oh yeah, they did. Yeah.
It was gone completely. You search for Bering, you got nothing. That's
Total Drama Island. Yeah.
Yeah, Drama Island. And that's how the whole, he's got a second channel called Patrick.
Yeah.
That's how it came about, was starting that. But in the process of having to get that back, he ended up having to I don't know if he deleted them or YouTube deleted them, but most of his videos got deleted. So a lot of them that he used to have are no longer available. They're just not out there. I've got a couple of them saved to my hard drive.
Yeah.
Thankful, like the one where he done Fisty Splinters. Remember that? The little cartoon he done of Fisty Splinters?
Well, that one, that wasn't specifically him. That was what's his face did all of it.
Right. But he had it on his channel.
Yeah,
I've got that one saved for posterity.
What was his name?
Oh,
Like who created the series?
Started with a C, I believe, but I can't remember his name.
Like he did most of the voice acting, but he had Bering, he had Sugar Tits, he had Adindro, all in there voicing characters and stuff. It was like a full-blown cartoon series, wasn't it?
Yeah. Good times.
Yeah.
And I miss that Bering's old videos aren't out there because, when I first got into it, it was kind of an inspiration for me. Because if you looked at his really, really early stuff when he first started, you could tell he was just a regular guy like the rest of us. His quality wasn't as good. He was still learning what he was doing.
Yeah.
It was a little more cringy. So, yeah.
Yeah, man, and his old avatar as well. I mean, he used to make the mouth move. He'd have the eyes closed when he was laughing.
Yeah,
I much preferred the avatar over the one he has now.
Oh yeah, I did too.
But there's nothing that could be done about it.
No, not at all. And he didn't just do those. He would do occasionally videos to help other creators, that were, just getting started to give them advice on how to do things. Those are all gone, which is a shame.
Yeah, that's it. Galactic Bubble Productions. That was it.
Yeah.
That was it. That was the name of the channel that did all the cartoon stuff.
Yeah, and they actually made less of a fuss about it than certain areas of YouTube. Mostly Christy and her bunch, but there were a few on our side that took pot shots at him.
Oh yeah, that's when the shit started. That's when the first fractures in the community kind of started showing. That's when the whole drama between Shu and Bering started originally,
Yeah, and but the actual company that was, I've heard him talk about, actually, made less of a big deal of it than they did. They worked with him. What can we do to get this back up? I don't want to lose my channel.
Yeah, when it happened, the Brain Trust, when they were still all together, Fisty and the crew, that it was their biggest gotcha.
Yeah,
they were doing stream after stream, celebrating the great takedown of Bering.
Yeah, and because of that is when somebody finally got video of his real life person.
Yeah,
and when it was revealed who he was, so he just
Danny Courts is the shitbag who did that.
Yeah, he was totally doxxed. Bering was entirely doxxed. Name, everything.
Yeah. And
he come back. He just come out and owned it. Yeah, this is who I am. Yep, that's me.
Yeah, that's how you dealt with those shitbags. And back then as well, man, like it was bubbling up between them lot as well because you know how I started. I read Bear was Brown Bear Entertainment, and it was just gaming videos, and I was telling stories over him. And I released a video asking my 74 subscribers. I know, right, guys? Silver play button. Here we come. What content they wanted to see, and it was kind of freaked me out because I was subscribed to Bering, and he showed up in my comment section, offering to speak to me on Skype. I was like, wow.
Yeah, that was back in the day where every creator that I knew wanted to get that sweet bearing bump.
Yeah.
Where he would feature you, and he would do that. He was so nice about that he would take much smaller creators and feature them on his channel, promote them.
Yeah.
I never did get it. Didn't quite get that bearing bump. I got his notice a couple of times, but he never featured me on his channel. But
yeah. I think I did one collaboration with him, and I also did a live stream with him as well.
Yeah. You got the bump. Monkey got the bump.
Yeah.
And there were quite a few. Haven't heard anything from him for a very long time, but you'll remember Ranthony.
Yes, I do remember Ranthony.
Ranthony got the bump, which started out as an argument. They were
they were fighting.
Yeah, Ranthony come after him, and they turned it into a good thing. But yeah, Bearing's good people. I genuinely like Bearing. I've had the opportunity since to talk to him, in live streams and so forth. On Alex's channel one time where we were talking about my BDSM proclivities, but
yeah, he was a little bit of a sex pest, Anthony. I think that's what destroyed him in the end.
Yeah,
I do vaguely remember him. I don't know whether he was still manning or what, but he made arguments in favor of maps, and that was it.
Yes, that kind of destroyed him. That kind of destroyed him. And it's a shame because I like Ranthony, and I don't think that he's a pedo or anything like that. He was just trying.
No, he wasn't a pedophile. I don't believe that he was.
He was trying to. Really not real sure what he was trying to do. He was trying to give voice to both arguments, trying to show that there's, and he shouldn't have done that. And it screwed him.
Yeah, he really shouldn't have. I mean, he should have just kept up with the weight loss videos.
Yeah.
Because that was going good. I mean, the thing is with Ranthony is that he was all about his logic. He loved playing chess and he loved arguing. He loved arguments, he loved debating. That was his thing. I'm fairly sure that's what he would do with outside of YouTube and did it with friends, as a hobby. I don't believe he was a pedophile because I know some female creators that he made a few passes at.
Yeah, he just got caught up in faithless. You're right, devil's advocate. He just got up in the whole debate of the thing. And I don't think he was thinking real well about where it was taking him because a lot of people took offense to it.
Yeah, when I say that he made a pass at a few female creators, I don't mean that he was being creepy or anything like that. He's a red-blooded heterosexual male,
That's what he's trying to say, yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't harassing anybody.
I truly liked Ranthony.
He was a nice guy. He was a nice guy.
And I hate that happened to him, but I could see it coming. I tried to warn him. When he was having those live streams and stuff, I'm like, Ranthony, you don't want to go here, dude. It's
not worth it.
It's going to bite you in the butt. It's going to bite you in the butt. And yeah, it sure did.
It's a shame, man, because how the whole thing came about, him firing shots at Bearing, and I remember watching that stream because what Bearing would do back in those days, if somebody fired a shot at Bearing, he didn't give a shit.
No,
he'd get that person on a live stream, and those live streams were something to behold.
Yeah, I mean, he got a bad rap sometimes because he throws softballs, or people perceive that he did.
Yeah,
but Bearing has an innate tact of throwing softballs at you, getting you feeling comfortable, and then the conversation's twisted around before you even realize that's what the heck happened.
Oh yeah, that's how Bearing would do it, man. Like I remember listening to one of the debates, and I'm like, because I knew from the second that he started that he was setting the other person up to fuck them, and he did that to Tag.
Yeah,
because Tag, he
he actually tried to help Tag because I was watching the live stream he did with Tag.
Yeah,
where Tag doxed himself.
Stupid.
Live on the air by showing an MSN certificate or Microsoft certificate rather, and it had his name and address on it, and he's showing it on the camera, and like Barry's like, dude, don't do that.
I remember, but basically, Tag. It wasn't that Tag was firing shots.
Yeah,
He was
jealous.
He was jealous. He was very self-entitled.
Yeah,
And he made a video saying, "Oh, Bearing, where's my shout out?" You know, as if Bearing owed him anything. You know, why haven't you had me on a live stream? Why haven't you had a collaboration with me? Blah 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 blah.
Tag, if you, and I'm sure you're still around in some form or another. If you're hearing this, it wasn't that. It's just that your stuff was bad.
Oh yeah, it was.
It was bad. I'm sorry, but it was bad.
Yeah, the camera was bad, the lighting was bad, and you know we can get past that.
Yeah.
But we can't get past the horrible arguments he was making.
Mm-hmm.
He was responding to your garden variety bedroom feminists, and instead of having a little bit of a joke and actual arguing against the points, because even though we all did it, we all made fun of them, but we all had arguments. We all had sources to back up our claims that we made up against them.
Yep.
He didn't do that. I mean, there was that video where he literally pointed and laughed.
Yeah,
in the middle of the video.
His MO was to just make fun.
Yeah.
And
that wouldn't have been too bad if it was funny.
And
nobody found it funny.
It was cringy.
No one. Yeah.
It was very cringy.
It was terrible stuff, and exacerbated by his mannerisms and terrible lighting and just the state of his apartment and stuff. And of course, he also made the mistake of letting the internet know that he pooed himself.
Yeah.
Yes, the Tag, the atheist gamer.
Yeah.
And then Bearing had him on a stream, and I was listening to that stream, and Bearing had actually had to get up in the middle of the night to have this live stream, time zone differences.
Yep.
And even then, Bearing expertly fisted him.
I was watching
dry.
it. Yeah, I was watching that one too, and watching it live when it happened. But to Bearing's credit, say what you want to about the guy, when he re-uploaded that live stream where he tagged doxed himself, he removed that. He blocked it out. Like, I'm not gonna. No.
Yeah. That live stream was messed up. I mean, the thing is, when Tag, Tag got on the stream with him, and Bearing was like, "Right, I've gotten up. It's 2:00 in the morning. What's your problem?" And then Tag just started beating around the bush and started being really nervous and not getting to the point. And it angered Bearing. You could hear it in his voice. He's like, "Right, I've gotten up in the middle of the night to speak to you on the live stream, like you asked. Right, get to the point." And then he continued to beat around the bush for a while. So Bearing effectively took over and said, "Right, why do you think this? Why do you think that?" And he started asking all these questions, and I was like, he's asking these questions because he's going to destroy him any minute. He's building him up. He's putting him into a position where he's going to just turn all of that around and slam dunk him. And that's exactly what he did. He just decimated him.
I never understood it, because Bearing would get, from some corners, would get grief because they say, "Oh, he throws softballs. He's too easy on the guessing." Do you guys not realize what he's doing? The dude is playing people expertly.
Oh yeah.
If you never watched them, some of the old Bearing live streams were a thing of beauty to behold.
Oh yeah, they were. Oh yeah. Yeah. If you could go in angry, you could go in nervous, and you weren't going to win. You weren't going to win because he's very good at arguing. Very good at arguing. There's a reason why he's the size he is.
I've only heard him raise his voice once on a live stream, and really go at somebody. And that's when Michael and Potato Head and the other.
Oh, he went up against all of them on his own, didn't he?
Yeah, the other moron, when they just got really stupid on the live stream, and he went off.
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
Tim, the Motivator Tim was the other one.
He went up against all of them on his own, and they were just being shits. They really were. But what pissed me off about Tag is that once Tag realized that the game was up and he couldn't convey his message and realized that actually he was catastrophically in the wrong, is he decided to play the victim.
Yep.
He decided to go down the mental health route, which annoyed me, and claim that he sometimes feels suicidal. And Bearing, being the good man that he is, decided to take that seriously, and he just stopped the stream.
Yeah. Stop the
spoke to him
stream,
in
talk
private,
to him
yeah.
behind the scenes. Yeah.
Yeah. Outright just stopped it. Didn't even give a real outro, and just went to go speak to him in private. He didn't allow that kind of conversation to be aired in front of the several thousand people who were watching.
Yeah, I do miss those old Bearing streams. I do. I miss them. They
were something of beauty, weren't they?
Yeah. I did the old days when you and I first got started. You know, the Bearing videos and streams of that period were just they were good stuff. Great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they were just purely 100% for fun as well.
Yeah, he's made it very clear several times that it all started because him and some of his mates just decided to have a laugh.
Yeah,
and of course, it ended up just being him. You know, when it was all said and done, but that's all it was. And talented guy. You can't tell me any different. He's very talented.
Oh yeah,
he does.
Yeah, basically he was there, and what I liked about Bearing the most is that he imparted his wisdom onto the rest of us. You know, he if he felt like there was something that was worth passing on to other creators, he would either make a video about it, or he was approachable, and you could email him or whatever.
One of the videos that helped me the most that he did, and I think he'd done this with Sir Sick, if I remember. Was a co-stream with him. It was just a stream about how to work Audacity and different things that we all use, and how to get the best.
It was a video. It was called Audio Radar.
Yeah,
and I think it was just him on his own.
Maybe it was he done a live stream later afterwards with Sir Sick. I'm almost positive he did, but anyway, yeah, it was very helpful, and it helped me a lot, because my early videos, if you watch them, one of the biggest things I had problem with was my sound. I had terrible sound. And he helped me fix that, you know.
You may remember I also had huge issue with sound back then as well.
And hate camels is wise being talked about in the past tense. I'm not trying to, but let's be honest.
He died.
His effect and his presence is nowhere near what it used to be back in those old days.
Well, he doesn't upload that often these days, does he?
No, it's very seldom. He does upload, but back then, my goodness, he uploaded like we all did every day. You know?
I wish he would upload more.
Yeah.
Because even after the whole Total Drama Island thing, I still was a huge fan.
Fateless says it does sound like a eulogy. Well, I don't mean it to. If it is, it's only in the way that I miss those old days, you know, when Bearing would upload every day when he was at his peak.
We're just being nostalgic, you know?
Yeah, just being nostalgic. That's it. That's exactly it.
We're not just talking about Bearing. We're talking about people like Ranthony, and
yeah,
I'm sure in a minute we're going to start speaking about the old Base Mama streams.
Oh my gosh,
those streams were something to truly behold.
And yeah, he does have a lot going on IRL. Not the least of which is a little Bearing coming.
Yeah,
not sure on what the date on what that is, but yeah. Yeah, the good old days of 2 or 3 years ago. In internet terms, that's an eternity.
The good old days of 2 or 3 years ago. Yeah, I mean, a week in internet time is basically a year.
Yeah,
I mean, look how fast trends go by. Man.
The YouTube landscape that I live in now is far different than the YouTube landscape that I started in 3 years ago. Trust me.
Oh yeah,
way different.
Yeah, when none of us knew how to use OBS,
and none of us cared.
And the streams were messy, and they lasted for about 12 hours sometimes.
Oh my gosh, I remember one Saturday, I think I was on one of your streams. Before that, I was on a Scribelight stream, because he used to, before they started doing Lords of the Night, he used to stream once in a while in the afternoons. And I was on one of his, then I was on one of yours, then I went on a Base Mama stream, and you know what those could be.
Oh yeah, Yeah, she'd run it so long that Google Hangouts would stop.
Yeah.
And then basically, for those unaware, back then we all used to use Google Hangouts on air for streaming. You know, none of us used OBS, or I don't even think StreamYards existed back then either. And Google Hangouts used to cut off at 8 hours.
Yep.
And it would just stop the stream. Then you'd have to start another one. And Base Mama streams, she would usually have to start a new one.
Yep. Yep. And then it would go on for hours after it went off the air. The after party was just as massive. I've seen the wee hours of the morning before, after one of her streams before.
Yeah, same, man, same. And that was back in the day with DA.
I don't know. But yeah, it's not trying to eulogize Bering or any of those people, just being nostalgic.
Well, a lot of them aren't even here anymore.
Well, yeah, a lot of the people that started when you and I did, and Monkey and Scribe, aren't around anymore. Some of them, that's a good thing, but some of it's not. That
guy T, you remember him, don't you?
Yeah.
The ANCAP guy, he was a black man. I met him on a Base Mama stream, and that's when he had around 80,000 subscribers.
Yeah, and
that was a big deal for me, being on a stream with him. He didn't like me. He went a little bit cray.
Yeah.
And then that's where the whole argument of ANCAPs will always go to fascism came from.
Yeah. I'm sorry, but
one.
My opinion is, if your label of what you call yourself starts with "an," which is short for anarchy, you've already lost the argument. I'm sorry. That's just my opinion. But you're welcome to feel however you want to.
Yeah, he was actually quite an intelligent guy. I mean, I remember him making fairly decent arguments, and he's quite popular as well. I mean, he used to go meet up with Lauren Southern quite a lot as well, before she kind of went down the white nationalism route. But
there was an ANCAP guy that, and I can't remember their name, that used to come on your stream every once in a while, and I accidentally hurt their feelings, and I didn't mean to. I remember this has been back in the old days, and God, I can't remember their name.
It was little Dicko, Big Dicko.
That was it.
Yeah, Big Dicko was an ANCAP. Well, I mean, one of them was an ANCAP, and he got really upset at me as well.
Yeah, I didn't mean to hurt his feelings. I was just asking questions. I was like,
well, he really didn't like it that we were kind of dismissing the ideology completely, you know, and felt that there should be better arguments against it if that was the case.
Well, the biggest argument, and the only one that matters, in my opinion, is anarchy doesn't work. It depends too much on the goodness of other people. And folks, human beings aren't good people. They're not good. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, this is why I'm very dismissive of it, you know. The nap, you can keep going on about the nap all you like. It's not going to happen. I'm sorry, but no. Yeah,
it just, somebody somewhere, as good as people will try to be to one another, somebody's going to take advantage, and this, the strongest is going to rise to the top. It's just the way things are.
Yeah.
But anyway, all this talking and reminiscing, man, time flies, and we're at the end of it.
We are. We've streamed for 2 hours.
Wow. But this is the part where I thank all of you for coming out and liking and sharing and commenting and chatting up, and those that give donations. I say it every time, and I mean it every time. This could not happen without you. This channel only has my name on it. It's actually yours. That's just the way I feel about it. But thanks everybody for coming out. Alex, good to see you. I'm still trying to get used to seeing you so seldom. But I get it. you know, glad you're working and all that. But hey, anything you want to shout out?
Yeah, I'm going to be releasing a longer form piece of content. I'm going to be working on it tomorrow. I'm not sure if I'll get it out tomorrow. It's going to be on Hungry Fat Chick and basically looking at the mukbang community in general. And it's going to be more of a documentary style thing. But of course, I am going to throw in some Lord Bear because I know people enjoy that. That's going to be, I don't know if it's going to be tomorrow or the day after. It will be premiering because I like to see the reactions to them. And you have a donation.
Yeah, I do. Thank you, Havoc, for the donation. Let me get switched over. And of course, there it is. Okay. Wish my StreamYards would quit being slow. Thank you for the donation. Quick, let me toss this in real fast. Can't think of anything to say, so bye, I guess. There you go.
Havoc's a good lad. He's one of my channel members. He's a good boy.
And it's not always easy for us to think of stuff to say either.
Yeah. If Havoc's one of my channel members, if you're a channel member, you will get early access to the video when it's completed and uploaded, regardless of whether it's demonetized or not. I mean, to be honest, I don't have time to wait for shit to be reviewed anymore. So I just have to deal with that, whatever. So I'm hoping to premiere it maybe Monday. But I don't know yet. We'll see what happens. Look out for that. But follow me on Twitter, Irate Alex Twitter account. I'm sick of people tweeting at Irate Bear. I don't use that account anymore.
All right. And again, thank you all for coming out. I do appreciate you. And again, apologies that there will not be a Redneck Trek this week, but it's not my fault. I'm innocent. I swear. I tried. But hopefully that'll be fixed by next week. So for me, the next thing would be the next Redneck Radio, which will be Tuesday at 2:30 Eastern Daylight Time. Which reminds me, time's getting ready to change this month, I think, sometime.
Yeah. But, I'm betting I have to do an extra hour on shift.
Might have to. Always hated that.
Yeah.
But anyway, thanks everybody for coming out. And as always, get out of my yard.
Have a great weekend, guys. Bye.